I have a lot of students email me or comment on my videos or some of my other content with a very particular situation where they find themselves with a little bit of a patchwork of knowledge in the Arabic language. Maybe they've done a couple of books, maybe they've done Medina Book 1, maybe they've studied some of Al-Arabiyyah al-Bayniyah Daik Book 1 and Book 2, maybe they've had a little private tutor for a few weeks, or maybe they've actually had a holiday in Egypt or Jordan or something and learned some Arabic there too. And they find themselves in a predicament where they're not complete beginners enough to be served by the first lessons of most structured programs, right? But they're not advanced enough where they've achieved their goals yet. So it's difficult for them to know exactly where they want to go. So in this video, I wanted to speak directly to that, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome back to the Arabic in 60 Steps channel. If you don't know me, I'm Sam and I'm your new Arabic teacher. Welcome on board. So in this video, as I mentioned, I'm going to talk about a particular situation that lots of students go through. And this can really mean two things. When students message me with this particular problem, they're not quite sure how to further their Arabic studies when they're kind of a false starter in many ways. Like they have a start, they maybe have some knowledge, maybe a few hundred words of Arabic or something like that, and have some command over sentences, perhaps, right? It might be that, it might be something else, right? But some level of Arabic where you're not quite fit for a beginner's program. So there's two kind of categories that I put these students in, right? The first one is whether you are able to use an Arabic dictionary and approach a text, right? If you can do that, okay, and also in a speaking environment, if you can speak to a native Arabic speaker and ask them questions in Arabic to explain other Arabic, right? If you're at that level, right, then you're in a particular position, but we'll call that like position A for now. If you're not in that position, right, and you are a relative beginner, right, you're not quite at that level yet, then we're going to call you in position B, right? Because there's two different strategies depending on what kind of a student you are. Because the thing is, I get it that it's frustrating for you to kind of be a beginner on a beginner's program again, because like to make an Arabic language learning journey exciting, you always need to be on the peripheries of your knowledge. You need to be encountering things on the peripheries of your knowledge. And that's kind of why I've sort of adopted it as part of my teaching style, that even in our most basic lessons, I like to kind of bring in bits of etymology or Arabic language history or little bites from poetry or culture or references to a little anecdote that I experienced in Palestine or Egypt in my studies or whatever. Because even if the content of the lesson is something you're quite familiar with, there'll still be information which is on the peripheries of your knowledge, and I like all of my lessons to be like that. So let me refer back to what I mentioned as sort of position A. If you're an individual who isn't where you want to be in Arabic yet, but you are at a position where you can speak good enough Arabic to have a native speaker explain something to you in other words in Arabic to explain something to you, or if you can sit with an Arabic dictionary and an Arabic text, right? If you're in that position, then what you need to do in that position is immerse yourself more. It's really simple for you guys, actually, is you need to immerse yourself more. In a reading context, you need to read things that you're interested in and just get through it. Sometimes, honestly, like this is like I've tasted my own medicine on this, right? Like during my Arabic language degree, sometimes I would sit with a dictionary next to me in like third year or fourth year of my degree, and I would just have to read books with a dictionary next to me, right? And when you encounter vocabulary enough and grammar enough in enough different contexts, then you just build a firmer foundation and you have more. And in a speaking environment, it's the same, right? I'm going to mention something, inshallah, that I do offer, actually, which might be able to help with this. It might be something you're interested in. But in a speaking environment, is you need a speaking partner, right? Like if you're in a position where you have this level of command over the Arabic language, the students are in kind of position A, like I don't know what most courses will give you. The vast majority of courses or books that you'll buy on Amazon, most of what they'll give you are things that you already know. And if you're a person who gets bored quickly by revising things, then it's not an advisable strategy for you. If you're in position B, where you have done a couple of bits of books here and there, had a teacher maybe a little while ago, maybe you've forgotten a lot, maybe during lockdown where we haven't been able to travel, you haven't been able to go and meet people in other countries and stuff to practice your Arabic perhaps, right? What you need to do is you need to pick a program that you like and finish it. I know it's going to seem frustrating, right, in the first couple of lessons, right? But it will only be a few lessons. With most programs, you'll catch up to your level quite quickly, and this is certainly something that I find in the Arabic in 60 Steps program, that like students approach me and they say, I've done Medina Book 1, what step should I start with on the 60 Steps program? Or I've done the Gateway to Arabic books 1, 2, and 3 or something, and it's always start at the beginning. Like the pace that the Arabic in 60 Steps program in particular moves at, you'll catch up with yourself very quickly. very quickly, right? So the two positions that I've talked about, okay, position A is if you already have enough Arabic to engage with Arabic text and Arabic speakers in that environment, right? And the thing for you is just more immersion, right? And the solution which I can give you, which I mentioned a second ago, is a resource that I built called My Arabic World. There's a free trial. There's a 7-day free trial that you can get access to if you want to just try it out and see if it is for you. But essentially, what we do in there is we don't have like a step-by-step course in there. That's not the kind of the pedagogy that we subscribe to. That's not what we're trying to build. It's not a course, right? It's a library. It's a world of Arabic moments, right? Where we've taken about a minute in each one of these videos of organic spoken Arabic, right? We take a video and then we unpack it for you. So we bring out the transcript, we bring out a vocab list, we repackage some of the vocab into really useful conversational phrases. It's usually 5 phrases per lesson. So that's the sort of thing that you can engage with, right? That's the kind of thing that you can use to always, as I say, be encountering knowledge that's on the peripheries of what you already know. And then for people in position B, where you're in the much earlier stages of your journey, you just need to pick a program and finish it, right? The Arabic in 60 Steps program is an option for that, but there are other options. You know, like if you don't particularly resonate with my teaching style, or you don't think the course looks nice or whatever, you shouldn't do it. You know, like sometimes I find students who have completed a program or chose a program for such odd reasons. Like I've met people who have good Arabic who are like, I was on Amazon and there was a particular book that I liked the front cover. And because they liked the front cover, they wanted to engage with the book every day, right? And they learn Arabic to a good level, right? If that's you, I'm not going to judge it. If that's you and that works for you, then you go for it, right? Because the best course for you is the one you're actually going to do. Right? Like us Arabic teachers can get in the habit of bounding around all these different ideas of different strategies and science behind language acquisition and stuff, but really the best Arabic program for you is the one you're actually going to do. So you guys need to have a little think about whether you're in position A or in position B and act accordingly, inshallah. But if you have any other questions, please put them underneath this video. Hopefully I haven't rambled on for too long. Hopefully it's all coherent and has made sense for you guys. But as I say, any questions at all, just stick them in the comment section below. If you're listening on the podcast, then you can email me, sam@arabic-in60steps.com, or you can message me on Instagram, is also @arabic-in60steps. And that's everything for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be doing lesson 16 of the Alauddin series, and we are also putting together an e-workbook as well for the Alauddin series. That's been requested by lots of students. So we'll have an e-workbook which will have like there'll be lesson by lesson, the text that we covered in the lesson, the core vocabulary, core grammar points, and then we'll maybe even have a QR code as well that you can scan on your phone to go to the right video. And we're trying to piece all of that together by the end of this month, inshallah. So, yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up, but please come back tomorrow for lesson 16 of the Alauddin series, and we'll also be giving away this book as well to whoever comes and asks the best question, inshallah. So loads going on the channel for the rest of this month. So see you guys in the following videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.